Yes, it is Friday night, and you know what that means. It means we are back here live on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. I think Twitter now works with StreamYard again. Look at that, it is.
It does, yeah.
Man, I come back and everything's working. It's fantastic. Rick Ucchino, SP3, Dutch Mantel, unfortunately not able to join us tonight due to some personal family issues.
This is not a good-looking version of Dutch Mantel. This is Kenny Starmaker Bolin.
I was gonna say this is what Dutch looks like when he shaves.
Yeah, when he shaves down, this is very similar to this.
Yes, but Dutch is dealing with some stuff tonight. We wish him and his family all the best. Hopefully, he will be back next week. I am happy to be back after a 2-week COVID hiatus. I still have the cough, so you'll have to bear with me. Occasionally, I'll have to pass it on to everybody, but I do appreciate everybody's well wishes that I saw on the show's last couple of weeks. Everybody's hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, whatever it's been. I really, really do appreciate it. And I'm back tonight to get a little bit of a distraction and talk about some pro wrestling. We had SmackDown tonight. Couple of things happened. We had Rampage tonight. Couple of things happened. Royal Rumbles tomorrow night. I'm excited about that.
Couple things might happen. Never know.
Couple things might happen, presumably at the Royal Rumble. Few returns tonight as well, which might shake up the landscape of the Women's Royal Rumble for sure, which we will get to that tonight. SP3, I know you have been very critical of SmackDown over the last few weeks. What did you think about tonight's episode?
Nothing happened, ladies and gentlemen. It was a show. I saw the same damn promo at the end of the night that I saw about 2-3 weeks ago. I saw a match that we've been waiting 5 months for, where half the match the crowd sat on their hands and zipped up their mouths for. Yeah, no, that's what I said. I said half of it. They worked hard to get them finally into the match. We saw the return of Sasha Banks in probably the worst segment that Sasha Banks or Charlotte has ever been a part of in their entire careers. And that's saying a lot because they were in some bad segments when they first got called up to the main roster. But my God, that opening segment was horrible. And then so that's my thoughts on SmackDown in a nutshell. Those are the biggest talking points.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Well, and only one of them was without a nitpick.
We could wrap the whole damn show right there.
Go home, hell. What are we here for?
We could wrap the whole damn show right there. But we have an entire we have an entire audience here who's just chiming in. SP3, we back again. Kenny, my man, saying hello to Kenny Bolin.
I like some of his ideas today. I don't know him, never saw him before tonight, but he had some ideas I like, so put him over a little bit.
This is a lot of this is Christopher Ryan Cooper again. I had a lot of people questioning on Twitter, why did they bring back Sasha Banks tonight as opposed to waiting for tomorrow?
Been a bigger impact.
I think Kenny, maybe you can answer this. I think this is WWE's way of trying to build even more hype for the show tomorrow. The fact that people will now know that Sasha Banks is going to be there and be in the Rumble. They still have about 7 or 8 spots open in the Women's Royal Rumble, I do believe. So there's still some room for some surprises. But your thoughts on them not waiting until tomorrow night to bring Sasha back?
That's a lot of it, and they might actually be trying to sell some tickets for the show. Is the Rumble a sellout? Do we know that yet? Because some of these pay-per-views haven't been selling out.
It hasn't.
If it hasn't sold out, if you got some names that can put some butts in seats, then I get where they're coming from at bringing it around. If it's already a sellout, then who cares? Make her a surprise. Who cares? It'll boost your television audience once the word gets out. Sasha's there because I do think Sasha puts butts in seats. She's one of my favorites there. We disagree on a few things, but I appreciate her talent and love the blue hair. The hair was looking immaculate tonight, as good as I've ever seen it.
I have to agree with SP3. This opening segment was really, really dragging for me.
Wow.
I was kind of hoping they would just kind of peak it with Shayna, because I wasn't expecting Sasha tonight, obviously. I was kind of hoping they were building something between Charlotte and Shayna Baszler. That was something I could really, really get behind. And then all of a sudden Aaliyah comes out and it's like, okay, now she's cutting her I'm just happy to be here promo. I don't really know what's going on, but here I am, and I'm wearing an Aaliyah 317 shirt. I don't know who wrote that for her.
It's almost like they didn't have a rehearsal.
Yo, I was yelling at the screen, ladies and gentlemen, to the point that I woke up one of my children.
To the point you were yelling at the screen earlier today. I hope
no. It wasn't like you guys talking about the Undertaker coming back.
Made me look like a calm guy today.
But that whole when Aaliyah started talking, I started screaming at the screen, "Cut the mic!"
Yeah,
cut the mic. I was just like, why does she keep talking? And why is she talking like this?
I love her look. I'm sure she's got good intentions, but I saw her debut and I'm going, why are they doing this now? You know, if they're going to give her a microphone, make sure she knows how to use it. And like I said, I love her look, but
she had a good like opening, like debut match, and then they took her off TV for a while.
Well, that's brilliant. Well, yeah, maybe that was why. Maybe the mic
kind of, I don't know. They've been doing really weird stuff with her. It's almost like they have no idea what they want to do with her. Shocker, I know. Yeah. But it's like they had her do that match, and then they took her out of Money in the Bank. I think it was wasn't that way back in Money in the Bank when she first made her debut match, and they took her out of that. And then she was doing these weird backstage segments, and now it's like, even though she's been with the company for 8 years, SP3, they got her coming out doing this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just happy to be on the main roster stuff. And I'm like, I don't know who thinks that's a good idea, but that's not going to get her over with anybody.
I'm not one of them.
It's not good. It's not good for her.
Not good television.
No. And then what? Who else came out? Well, we had Natty. Shotzi came out for the first time in like 2 months. And she was talking really weird tonight. I don't know what her deal was. And then all of a sudden this leads to Sasha Banks. And she was, boy.
What is strange is that I worked with a lot of these people that are going to be in the Women's Rumble. I worked with them 20 years ago. And they're still there at Monday Night Raw still. Some of them never left. I don't think Natalie's ever left, has she?
No.
I don't think so. Yeah. So it's strange that I retired in 2012, but I'm old. But you see these people that you trained and developed, and they're 20-something years late. Randy Orton, but so many of the women we thought they'd last 5 or 10 years, that 20 years later, some of them still there. Mickie James going to be in the Royal Rumble.
Yes, looking forward to.
I heard people predicting she was going to win. Rick, what do you think about that prediction? Mickie James winning the Royal Rumble with the.
I don't think there's a prayer. I don't think there is a prayer that happens.
There you go.
I would be ecstatic if she did.
It would be cool. It'd be cool.
I would love that matchup of a title versus title match at WrestleMania.
That would be something.
Mickie James versus Charlotte Flair. I would love that. It is not going to happen. Not even close.
So we have Mountain Timer and Eastern Timer in the chat room tonight. We're getting all the coast covered.
I mean, ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason why Sasha Banks returned tonight. There's a reason why thinking Mickie James has a chance of winning is preposterous.
Did I say that? Did I say she has a chance?
Hell no. I'm talking about all the people that do. I'm talking about all the people that do. It's preposterous because Ronda Rousey is coming back, ladies and gentlemen, the savior. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be the shocker to end all shocker. It doesn't matter how many reports is out there that she's going to be coming back. When it happens, it's going to be the biggest pop, the biggest moment of the night tomorrow night at the Royal Rumble. Jesus told people he was going to rise on the 3rd day, but when he did it, it was still a shock, just like Ronda Rousey's return in the Women's Royal Rumble.
So that probably answers my question here. SP3 believes the rumors, believes Ronda Rousey is going to be there. And if she is in the match, she's winning the damn thing. But let's take Ronda out of the equation for a second.
All right.
Is Sasha Banks, now that she is back, now that she is healthy, because the first reports were she was going to miss the Royal Rumble. She was going to miss 6 to 8 weeks, be back close to WrestleMania. Now that she is back and she is healthy, and as she said, she is ready to rumble, does she become an instant favorite to win this match tomorrow night?
Do we know why she's been out? Do we know what she's been recovering?
She hurt her foot.
Her
foot, ankle area.
Got a little turf toe, huh? A little turf toe there, SP3.
Something like that. Apparently, it was not as bad as people had said. Now, WWE, they like to inflate these timelines to make it to make the shock of people coming back, and we know that they lie a lot. They embellish a little bit. I was not expecting her back this soon, and it wasn't only until about 30 minutes before the show came up that Sean Rossap from Fightful Select said that she was due back sooner than anticipated. Then, boom, she's in the opening damn segment of SmackDown, and she's in the Royal Rumble. So, does she now become an instant favorite to win this? Maybe not the favorite in the eyes of SP3, but do we think she has a shot of winning this match tomorrow night?
I definitely think she's got a shot. And if Asuka returns, we didn't see any mentions of her tonight.
Nope.
Maybe they want that to be a surprise. I would be surprised if she's not in it. From what I'm hearing, she's amped and ready, and great addition to it. Obviously, I'll be for Asuka. She's hanging out here in my living room. She's got to get a plane ticket here soon, of course. But she's my pick. She's my pick to win it. Sasha Banks would probably be my second pick, and if Ronda Rousey shows up, they're not going to bring Ronda in to lose the damn thing. So I agree with Rick on that one.
Would you consider her a favorite at all, SP3? Or are you still riding the Ronda Rousey train here?
I'll give you my top three. There is Ronda Rousey. There is the only UFC Hall of Famer that's going to be in the Women's Royal Rumble. And there is the reason why women main event WrestleMania to this day.
Becky Lynch.
Those are my three. Come on, Rick. We know you're in your delusional mind. That's what you think. But Vince McMahon, I think Kenny Bolin knows better than anyone. Who would be the reason why Vince McMahon would decide to put women in the main event? Becky Lynch becoming popular in August before WrestleMania, or them signing a bona fide MMA legend in Ronda Rousey?
Well, I'm not the biggest Rousey fan, but SP3's right. That would be the reason.
I'm just saying. It's pretty obvious.
The idea,
if she's there,
became a possibility because of Ronda Rousey, but Becky Lynch helped get it across the finish line. That is all I've said.
It was going to happen. Ronda Rousey's there.
It was not going to happen. By the time everything's structured out, they were not going to put Charlotte and Ronda in the main event. They were both heels. They needed Becky in that match to get it into the main event. I have argued with this. They deserve equal credit for getting that match across the finish line and into the main event.
Everyone
Becky Lynch does not catch fire the way that she did. That match does not main event. I will guarantee you that.
Keep acting like it's my show.
But everyone that works with the company
if it ain't Becky, who is it? If it ain't Becky, who is it?
I'm sorry, what do you mean?
What do you mean?
If it ain't Becky that pulled it across the finish line, who is it and who would it have been?
It's Ronda. It's Ronda all day. It was
no. Ronda's got to have somebody to work.
Ronda
can't show up to wrestle a pit bull. Ronda's got to have somebody to work.
Thinks that Ronda Rousey could have wrestled a broom. And
I guess.
Because nobody else could.
She's got to have somebody to work. If it ain't Becky, that's my question. If it ain't Becky, who is it?
SP3.
What I'm trying to say,
Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey have main evented WrestleMania by themselves.
Literally, like, y'all not letting me talk. Like, I'm literally trying to answer Kenny's question.
I haven't let you talk. You've been flapping your gums since the thing lit up. You've been flapping your gums since 11 a.m. when we did our first show. What do you mean not letting you
Actually,
talk?
He's been flapping his gums since 7 a.m. when the Believe in Pro Wrestling podcast came out, when we did our Royal Rumble preview.
Wow.
So make sure to check that out.
Recorded. I ain't doing no 7.
And make sure to subscribe to the Believe in Pro Wrestling podcast YouTube channel. That's spelled BLEAV.
Bob Hazelwood, my co-host, wants to know if you're loaded up on Red Bull today. You're not acting like the Sid always know. I'm the quiet guy today. I'm the guy holding back.
This is an argument that Sid and I have had, and we will never agree. And it will, this is just
doesn't appear that way.
Because Rick wants to go against every single person that has worked for WWE that has come out and said that the reason why Vince McMahon decided to put women in the main event is Ronda Rousey. He literally doesn't care what anybody that works with the company that was actually there and knows why they made the decision says. It's all about what Rick thinks. It's about what Rick thinks.
Well, and the fact that they didn't make the final decision to put them in the main event until 2 weeks before the event, because they were still considering putting Seth and Brock in there.
From a year out, literally Triple H.
Like I said, if you listen to what I said,
you're not listening to what I'm saying.
No, I totally
have tried
hear
to talk now 3 times, and you interrupted me.
You're not listening to me.
But we can move on to something else, honestly.
You are right. Ronda Rousey made it possible.
How about that main event segment?
Kenny,
how about that main event segment with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins? Because Rick doesn't care what anybody at the company says, what I said. Yeah. It's what he believes. But Kenny, what was your thoughts on the main event?
Well, that's why they had Roman Reigns.
I absolutely loved the promo, and I was sitting there listening. I said, are they turning Reigns babyface tonight during a promo? Because he's all heel, man. He's 99.9% heel. And then Reigns is almost out. You broke us up, man, and I'm never going to forgive you for that. I mean, it made him a big baby face, in my opinion. I mean, that
baby was the right word there.
Well,
he was almost whining there a little bit.
Yeah,
at the end of the night.
It took a strange turn. I get the heel versus heel. We don't do it very often, but my God, I mean, does it look like they have plans to babyface Reigns out? Is that what they're going to do?
That's what they've always wanted. They have always.
But that's never worked. That hasn't worked yet.
No, it hasn't worked, and they've always wanted Roman Reigns to be the most over guy in the company, and until they finally turned him heel for it to actually happen.
There was a reason I was a heel for 32 years, because babyface Bolin wasn't going to work. So that's why we didn't even bother with it. Babyface Bolin. It'd been a great name, though. Babyface Bolin. I'd got over with that name. You all right?
Yeah, no. I do think they're laying the seeds to turn Roman Reigns babyface, because that's what they've always wanted. They want
I thought
babyface Roman to be the top of the top guy in the company, and we're starting to see this. Nobody has made Roman Reigns look like this except for Seth Rollins. Like, Seth Rollins is like really the first guy to kind of get into his head.
Seth has become a hell of a promo man. He's become. Yes. I mean, I even buy his stuff now. It's like the days of Lawler. You know it's a work, and then Lawler will convince you it's real. And this is what Seth is getting that good at the promo, man. I really like what he's doing. What I know, though.
Well, I don't know anything. Just ask SB.
Wait a minute. Bubba Ray's in here. I wonder if he heard about the early show today. How you doing, Bubba? How's everything going there, tough guy? You don't want none of me, son. You better get out of here and go to another podcast. You don't want to come in this room. It's a tough room here, son. Got educated people here that can fight. Rick might not know about the earlier show.
No, I'm just trying.
He's just trying to survive going through his coffee.
That's all right. You and I can tag in if he needs a breather. It's not a problem.
Absolutely. I mean, I like the segment, even though it was like the exact same promo that they cut in the first face-to-face that they had. It really wasn't anything new. We know Seth Rollins has the number of Roman Reigns in one-on-one competition when it really matters most. We know that they broke up in the Shield. And all this did was kind of reaffirm the things that they've already said in the past. But Seth Rollins was great in doing that. So
antagonizing.
Yes, it was definitely an entertainment segment at bits, a bit repetitive for me.
Are we still under the assumption that Seth Rollins is winning tomorrow night?
This promo did make me feel a little bit more apprehensive about a possible Roman, because he is in his head.
I picked Seth today, right? I think we both did. We both picked Seth.
We both picked Seth.
We didn't agree on a lot, but we did agree on that. It's time. He's had that title 500 and something days, and people get a little bored with that after a while. And I think the time is right, and his promos are earned it, and we know his in-ring skills. If you got the promos, you got the in-ring skills, and the other guys had the belt for over 500 days, might be time to make a change.
And give me that title on that Joker suit that he was wearing tonight.
I love the Joker suit. I'd have that on right now if I had it, and if it fit.
Same.
I'd have it on now.
Same for sure. I still have this feeling that Seth is walking away. And Kenny, to your point, I do think that they're going to start to turn Roman babyface, but I think now is the wrong time, because if they're still doing Roman versus Brock at WrestleMania, that seems to be their plan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loving babyface Brock way too damn much. Why ruin a good thing right now?
I didn't think I'd ever think I'd say I love babyface Brock, but it hasn't been bad. And of course, I've got a long history with Brock Lesnar, but I didn't think I'd care for it, but it has not been bad. Hadn't been bad.
Well, you could kind of see that WWE is moving in the direction of Roman Reigns being a babyface. He no longer has Paul Heyman. He on tomorrow's match, he's not going to have the Usos in his corner. So if he wins, I'm
still saying they show up and stick their nose in it. It's no. This ain't Memphis booking. If you're back from ringside in Memphis, they're going to be at the end of the match.
Oh, that ref in the match is going down. He's going to get punched.
Something's going to happen.
Inexplicably going to be out for 8 minutes. Which is going to allow the Usos to get involved. It's going to allow Paul Heyman to get involved. It's going to allow Brock Lesnar to get involved. and shenanigans just abound. John Moxley's going to run.
And then Moxley runs in. See, me and Ucchino's together on that. Moxley's running in. Cincinnati boy.
I did like how SmackDown ended with Roman and Seth, and then Rampage kicked off with Moxley. I thought that was very fitting. It was almost cool, it was almost like the companies were working together.
Yeah, just kind of in sequence there.
Yeah, very, very, very nice for those guys. But no, I don't think John Moxley's going to be there. I don't think anybody from AEW is going to be there. I think
you don't even think Cody will be there then.
Cody's the only one because he did confirm that he's working on a handshake deal right now with AEW. He is not in a contract. Right. Meltzer reported that, look, nobody from AEW is coming. Technically, that does not include Cody Rhodes right now. He is he's not the TNT champion anymore.
Yeah. Fancy wording, the way politicians do it.
Cody's the only guy I could see going, but we only have five open spots in the men's Royal Rumbles, unless they do what they did last year and not everybody who's been announced and declared for the Royal Rumble.
I think it's good for business to have Cody involved, but then again, you got to have two businesses come to an agreement on that, and what do each business get out of it?
Yes, exactly.
Bailey's not winning the Rumble. Stop it. Kick these people out. Block them.
I wish he was. Honestly, people. But yeah, it's going. I am happier that it's going to be Ronda Rousey because I can't.
Yeah, if Rousey's there,
how each and every one of you respond is going to be great.
Well, I'm telling you, I think it would be perfect if Ronda Rousey won the Royal Rumble. It would be a very, very simple. We would finally get the one-on-one match that we never got with Becky and Ronda, and all Ronda has to do is do exactly what Becky did 3 years ago. Becky opens up the show after defeating Doudrop, which we all believe she's going to be doing tomorrow night. Becky opens up Monday Night Raw in Cincinnati, by the way. Ronda Rousey's music hits. She comes down. She grabs the mic. She stares at Becky Lynch, and she goes, "I choose you." It comes full circle. It's poetic. It's easy. It's very simple storytelling. And then all you have to do for the next 6 weeks or however long we have out until WrestleMania is just have Ronda Rousey drive home the fact that Becky really didn't beat her in the main event of WrestleMania 35. You know what? Their damn shoulders were up.
There's a good question to come up from Queen Moan 05. I didn't hear Bianca's name mentioned all night.
I would say if I'm not going to pick Ronda Rousey for all of my picks, I would go Ronda Rousey, Bianca Belair, and then Sasha Banks. Those would be my top three associates.
Well, I love Bianca. I love her and Sasha are definitely, and Asuka, because I have to say Asuka before speech to text can spell it right. So Asuka is there's my three.
I just believe that the numbers video I always enjoy, and this year's numbers video felt longer than usual, and they did emphasize that it's been 24 years since back-to-back winners in the Royal Rumble match, and they said that Bianca Belair has an opportunity to join that list with Shawn Michaels.
I saw one stat that over 1,100 wrestlers have been in the Royal Rumble, but only 131 have won it. And I think 19 have actually won a title.
No, it's not 131 have won it. Definitely not.
That's not what I saw.
This is only the 35th Royal Rumble.
You probably watched the show very, very closely. Oh, I don't know what the hell I saw. Maybe
I take notes.
Maybe it was 19 have won it.
I think you and I am Sam are drinking the same stuff here tonight. If this guy thinks Shayna Baszler is winning the Royal Rumble and challenging Ronda at WrestleMania, I want to see Shayna Baszler versus Ronda Rousey one day. They got to start building Shayna Baszler back up, though.
Yeah, she's not built up enough for that match yet.
She's not doing anything.
And they changed her dope music for no reason.
Well, you didn't like generic rock bed number 5?
They got as much say in their music at that level as I would have.
Oh, I'm not saying this is on her. I'm saying the company sucks at
well, you said she changed her music. I thought you meant
I said they changed her music.
Rewind the tape, Rick. Did he say they or she? I thought I heard she.
No, he's talking about the company. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. No, we had 3 different people come. We had 3 people come out with new music tonight, I believe.
Ricochet as well.
And Sonya's music was new, wasn't it?
I can't wait to get to Cruella DeVille because I'm dying to tell y'all what I have to say about that segment. But go ahead.
All righty. Well, let's see. I do want to, before we get into Cruella DeVille tonight, I do want to talk about the New Day reuniting, and this was my worst. Well,
we've all been dying for that.
This is one of those things that Sid harps on. This is what Sid was harping on.
Chat room's going crazy
with the Hurt Business, right? A lot of people have been wanting the New Day to reunite. Like they never wanted them split up. They never wanted them split up. I've had people saying, "Look, why are you moving Big E and Kofi and all this stuff?" They wanted him back at the draft, right? Well, now we got what they wanted, right? The Big E announced tonight that he's now back on SmackDown. The guy who was WWE champion 3 weeks ago.
Did he get traded? Did he get traded? How did this happen? There wasn't any draft.
They literally just said he's back on the blue brand. That's it.
That was your explanation.
All got nothing.
No trade.
All got nothing. Just, hey, Big E's on SmackDown now. Yeah. That was it. No explanation.
Right. Okay, there you
go. No trade. No player to be named later. No cash.
You got to at least maybe pick up Brandon Phillips or something in a trade.
Well, I would hope you'd get Jade Cargill too with Brandon Phillips.
Hell yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later as well.
But
I don't watch this show often, but I got to see some Jade Cargill tonight, so my lucky night.
That would be one person, by the way, I would love to see. If there's going to be a Forbidden Door entrant into the Women's Royal Rumble,
God, I that'd be a pop. I think that'd be a pop, man.
I'd love to see what she could do. Just give her like 12 eliminations.
I'd like to
have Bianca dump her out.
You're still talking about wrestling here, so let's continue with that.
Yes, we are. This was my biggest fear, and this is something that Sid and I talked about, and I brought up on the Believe in Pro Wrestling podcast earlier this week. I was concerned that Xavier Woods' injury would be detrimental to Big E, and the fact that they would move Big E from whatever plans they had for him in a singles run on Raw, and they would move him and just have him retake Xavier's spot in the New Day on SmackDown, and that is exactly what they have done.
Wow.
Now, granted, SmackDown's singles division is really, really weak right now, but if Seth Rollins wins tomorrow night and takes the Universal Championship
that 22-man Rumble is a weak division from what I saw. I can't believe Randy Orton agreed to be a part of it. Like,
yeah,
that's
there's
all
25
right.
dudes in
Give
there
me something else to do.
Big E ain't, look, I'm telling you right now, Big E ain't winning the Royal Rumble. It ain't happening. With him moving over to SmackDown now and Seth Rollins potentially moving the Universal Champ, it ain't happening.
Hey, I'm
not winning the Royal Rumble.
I'm in for Jade versus Bianca, by the way. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good
thought. Ladies and gentlemen, I look like a very wise individual because me and Kenny Bolin did a Royal Rumble preview. Where on that Rumble preview, I said Big E would win the men's Rumble.
You did.
And then an hour later, I was on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel and did the prediction show there. And I went with my head instead of my heart. And my head said Roman Reigns will win the men's Royal Rumble.
You got it all covered, don't you? You got it all covered.
Yep.
See, that's what I do on my NFL picks on Friday nights. We normally do NFL picks, and my heart picks one team, and my head picks another, and then I got it all covered. As a matter of fact, I'm 10-0 in the playoffs.
I've seen a lot of different people as far as NFL predictions. Like I've seen the same people on like 4 different shows, and they pick a different team almost like every damn time. And that's where SP3 is right now, because on the Believe in Pro Wrestling podcast, you also picked Big E, and I looked at you like, damn, man. All right. That's out the door now. There is no way. Seth Rollins is taking the Universal title over to Monday Night Raw. Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble after losing the Universal Championship.
All right.
And he's going to face Brock Lesnar for the WWE title. Now,
all sounds beautiful if it happens.
The only saving grace for Big E is, again, it is a weak singles division on SmackDown. So maybe he gets back into the singles division once Xavier Woods is back. Maybe back by SummerSlam or later on the year, he might be fighting for his second world title. But my goodness, this is not good news for Big E. So people are happy that the New Day are back, but man, this is not good news for.
Are they saying how long Xavier's out for? Are we hearing any numbers?
He's only supposed to be out for 6 weeks, and he said that 4 to 6 weeks.
All right.
Man,
he'll be back next week, ladies and gentlemen. And
probably
this whole conversation would be a mute point because they brought Big E over to SmackDown for no reason.
No.
Hey, at least they won the tag team match. Like I was very concerned that they would lose to Corbin and Madcap Moss, but then I remember
I was not concerned about that whatsoever. They've fired 200 people, but those two still have a job. What the
I'm
heck?
not going to go there.
You don't have to. I did it for you.
I think they both have value, but their characters.
Hello, Bully Ray.
Their characters suck. It is what it is. And by the way, Madcap Moss did beat Kofi Kingston clean as a sheet 3 weeks ago.
Oh my God, no!
I was concerned I
only watch wrestling when Sportskeeda pays me to, so I miss out on a lot of stuff.
I was concerned until I remembered that Baron Corbin was from Kansas City, and ain't no hometown heroes get any damn victories in WWE. So once I remembered that, I was like, all right, my concerns are gone. It was a pretty decent matchup tonight, but this is not good news for Big E. That
they don't really give a crap about that hometown advantage, do they?
See, I didn't tell Kenny that he made the wrong choice for the men's Royal Rumble match as well, because he picked Randy Orton based on his OVW ties, but I didn't tell him that the Royal Rumble's in St. Louis, Missouri, the hometown of Randy Orton.
He's so screwed.
Ouch,
he's so screwed. You could have named any town, and I'd have said, okay, that's great. They're having the Royal Rumble.
By the way, speaking of which, and I saw people bring up calling you out for your NFL picks here, Kenny.
Yeah,
it said you're not 10-0 on your NFL picks.
I'm 10-0. I'm 10-0. I went 6-0 legit first week, and then I did the reverse psychology picks the following week, only picking Kansas City with my heart and my head, and of course they won fair and square because one team didn't know how to do a squib kick. So they won fair and square. And then I went a legit 6-0. You can ask Bob Hazelwood. He's in there. Yeah, I got the trollers in here. You know, they're stupid.
I went
they're uneducated.
2 for 2 last week. I got the AFC right, but I got the NFC wrong.
Hey, NFC wrong. By the way, we missed the big babyface turn for Charlotte Flair tonight when she finally went on the side of the one true Queen City. Forget Charlotte, North Carolina. She crapped all over Kansas City and their Chiefs. She is riding with the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday.
Well,
damn right.
I'm a huge Miami Dolphin fan, but if the Dolphins can't do it, I always root for the Bengals. And I have to admit, that was so exciting. In week 1 when Cincinnati played, I actually really cared about an NFL playoff game for a change. And it was a weird feeling. Because when you root for the Dolphins and the Bengals, you don't get a whole lot to cheer about come playoff time. And that was so exciting. I'm rooting for them big time. They beat Kansas City once. Maybe they can do it again.
Here's one thing, by the way. I'm not saying this is a sign, but I'm choosing to see it as a sign.
Okay.
Last week, SmackDown was in Nashville. The Bengals played the Titans and beat them. This week, SmackDown is in Kansas City, and the Bengals play the Chiefs in Kansas City. And Monday Night Raw is in Cincinnati, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not saying it's a sign.
Joe Pesci, who was on my show tonight, Joe Pesci would say that's definitely a sign.
I'm saying Bengals by 3 touchdowns. Anyway,
I'm not saying that, but
let's move on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a public service announcement. Never smoke weed before you get on Smack Talk on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel. You say some crazy
while battling COVID. Smoking weed
while battling COVID. You notice that Rick is coughing a whole lot more this week.
I mean, not a lot of oxygen going to the brain there tonight. I'm with you.
That marijuana clears up your chest and it gets it's getting all that cough out right now.
Nothing worse than coughing and laughing while you got COVID and trying to get oxygen to the brain. That's a bad trifecta right there.
Hey, Kenny, let's move on here. Before we get to Sonya Deville, we do have I do want to give you a chance to talk about your boys' triumphant return to action tonight. What'd you like? What you saw at Shinsuke Nakamura this evening?
I didn't realize this was a return because I hadn't seen it in a long time. I could not believe that the guitar player, what's his name, Rick Boogs or Boogs or
Boom.
Oh boy. I saw his clean victory tonight over the big guy. What's the big guy's name? Shanky. Well, no wonder I forgot his name. Who's going to name a wrestler Shanky and expect him to get over? You have to have marquee ability. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Shanky. I don't know about that.
Well, this is the same company that changed Walter's name to Gunther and Piper Niven to Dewdrop. They have a naming problem. In WWE. They can't name their people.
Well, as bad as I hate to admit it, Cornette taught me marquee ability. It has to look good on the marquee. And none of that does. I'm not big on the guitar player. We'll just call him that. Where's the other guitar player? Did he get released?
No,
he's dead.
He disappeared.
He's dead.
He just disappeared.
They killed him.
He's in witness protection. Can't have 2 guitar players at the same time. Seems to me that's the match.
That's what I said when Boogs first showed up. I'm like, if we don't get Elias versus Boogs at Survivor Series, what are we doing?
I'd actually half-ass care about that. But just playing Shinsuke to the ring, I'm not,
No, but they
record it and let him go and save some money. I found out today. Someone told me that what was his name? Bob Hazelwood. If you're in here, who was it that we found out tonight might be making $2 million a year? Somebody throw the name up real quick. I was blown away. Dadgummit. I complain about him all the time. Which one?
Kevin Owens.
Stop smoking crack. Stop it. Don't put that Goldberg. No. Stop it.
Okay.
A lot of drug use tonight.
Yeah,
someone said tonight that Sheamus, the guesses I saw, and people were looking it up on the internet, that Sheamus is making between 1.5 and 2 million a year.
That makes sense.
We let 200 people go and we can't shave that $2 million off the top because no one's buying a ticket to see him. People in Ireland ain't buying a ticket to see him. He might be a nice guy. He actually visited the whiskey factory that my daughter-in-law works at in Ireland. She saw him in there. She said, Kenny, he actually looks like a star. I said, yeah, in a whiskey factory, not in the WWE. No offense to redheads. I'm not getting on you. Tough night for you. But no, $2 million and we let 200 people go? What?
Again,
it's $2 million. Did any of y'all ever buy a ticket to go see Sheamus? I got Bubba Ray mad at me. I might as well get Sheamus too.
Yeah, actually, I bought a ticket to go see that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that he was in.
Was he in that? Okay.
I bought a ticket.
I didn't realize he was. Well, he was in that.
You paid money for that?
Not much. It was a matinee.
Well, yeah, you got in for $250. I mean, don't give him too much.
And he got AMC awards. He got that for free.
Pesci, you were on my show tonight, and I don't think you donated 99 cents. You better calm down, son.
You guys want to get in and make sure I know I'm doing a terrible job in the comments, but if you guys want to make sure you get your comment in, you can always send us a super chat as well. So they've been doing a hell of a job of building up Rick Boogs, and he looked great, hitting the pump handle slam on Shanky.
Real strong, yeah. He looked good on that.
Obviously, he's got some he's got some personality to him, but my God, I just don't know why.
I thought you were going to say he's got something that starts with an S, but you went with personality.
I just don't know why they're building up Rick Boogs while Shinsuke Nakamura is the Intercontinental Champion. It just now I know Shinsuke's been hurt for the last few months.
Yeah,
but they were doing this SP3 before Shinsuke we found out that he was hurt.
This was a boring segment, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. Like, it happened, but I
watched it happen because I'd have called you a liar if I hadn't seen it. But
if you see one Nakamura and Boogs tag team match, you've seen them all, so you can literally turn off your brain. You know how it's gonna finish. Boogs is gonna get the win. They'll do some guitar playing. Pat McAfee will get happy. Shanky and Jinder lose.
I don't watch a lot of shows. Does Pat McAfee still dance on the desk every week?
Yes. I feel like we have spent way too much time talking about this segment that did not matter. There was 3 things that mattered on this show.
And that's a shame that I broke it down already.
Fan.
I'm the biggest Shinsuke Nakamura fan in the world, and I think we've spent too much time talking about Rick Boogs. So yeah,
let's get to Naomi and Sonya. We have taken as much time on the grand scheme of things to get to this match as WWE actually spent building to this match. And SP3, I will start with you. After spending 5 months or 150 days, whatever, Naomi knew how long that this damn storyline's been going on because she dropped it in her promo afterwards. What'd you think about this matchup that we finally saw after 5 months?
It was pretty rough in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie to you. It just felt like the crowd did not care. We spent 5 months building to this match, and it sounded like that Kansas City crowd did not care. But through the work of Sonya and Naomi, they worked very hard. They got the crowd invested, and the crowd was very loud for Sonya, for Naomi defeating Sonya finally in this victory. But after the match, with the whole promo exchange and Sonya being in the Royal Rumble, I just had the question of, what did we even accomplish? We took 5 months to get to this match, and it seems like this is just the start of a new chapter, yet we don't know the answer to chapter number 1 of why Sonya doesn't like Naomi. They literally spent the whole show last week asking that question. After 5 months of a storyline, we don't know why the heel doesn't like the babyface. And then we get this match, and the answer is we still don't know the goddamn answer of why this feud is going on. This is real.
You're gonna win, Ozzy. Anyway,
I have never been so split down the middle with a match and a segment. Like I said, their match I liked because they worked very hard to get the crowd behind it. But this entire storyline, I feel like we've been wasting our time because we don't know why it's going on.
Here's my perspective. Y'all know I don't watch a whole hell of a lot of wrestling unless Sportskeeda pays me to do so. So I hadn't seen a whole lot of SmackDowns in the last 5 months, but I do remember seeing a SmackDown that involved Cruella DeVille, which I had named her quite some time ago. I didn't realize that Naomi had done the same thing tonight. So
she told me she stole it from you.
Oh, well, at least she admitted it. It was just like when Charlotte Flair was pushing the Star Maker, if we remember when that happened not too long ago. So, so about 5 months ago, I saw this thing start. And then I didn't really see a lot of SmackDowns between those 5 months. So I watch it tonight when I get short notice that I'm filling in for the Dutch man tonight. I said, well, I better watch SmackDown. I better get caught up in all this. And I'm bugging Rick. Rick, what channel's that AEW show on? Rick, give me a link. And Rick is being real short with me. He's like, here.
Well, I'm trying to watch a show.
You just leave me alone. Well, I was trying to save you. I was trying to help you, son, is what I was trying to do. Trying to give you a distraction. So 5 months ago, I see this thing start. And then tonight, I said, what? How long is this? And then they tell you for 151 days. I said, this has been dragging on for 151 days. And like he said, we still don't know what the beef is. We still don't know what they're hot about. I hope someone's sitting back in the writing room going, I guess we're going to have to explain this eventually. No. Or maybe we just trade her to Raw. I don't know. Or SmackDown, or wherever the hell they're from.
No. Look, this is one of those things where WWE is going to sit back and laugh. They didn't have, they didn't have an end game for this.
They'll laugh themselves out of a company if they keep going.
This is freaking, Eric Rowan with the cage all over again. Like they just did not have an end game. They just started doing something and it started getting some good buzz. People were enjoying what it was, and then it started taking off, and then it kind of jumped the shark because they just kept
and then they
the can down the road.
It was Corilla's first match in 2 years. I didn't realize that. They said it's been 2 years since she's been in the ring. So if she comes back after 2 years and wins her first match, but we've seen it happen before. People take many years off. CM Punk.
After all of this, after all this 5 months, Naomi winning the match tonight was the right call. Her going over was absolutely the right call, especially with the referee saying, "Look, I'm going to call it down the middle." Sonya,
have we ever seen that referee before?
I have.
Yeah. Is he a regular ref?
Yeah.
What acting school did he go to, and what can we do to shut them down? Thank you. All right. I'm getting everybody tonight. Referees, Bully Ray. I don't care.
Well,
Charlotte.
I'll say this much. It was nice to see Sonya actually have an honest to good match again, just to be in the ring and have an elongated match. They actually gave them some time. Yeah. They went through a commercial break. This wasn't some BS 3-minute match, which I was expecting. That was my expectation because that seems to be what they do to the women's matches on SmackDown is they make them incredibly short. They gave them time. They gave them a pay-per-views match worth of time to get this match done. And I
love Naomi anyway. Naomi's never going to disappoint you.
No, I do agree with you though. SP3, it looked like Sonya's first match in 18 months. Like you could tell
it's hard to hide that. It's hard to hide.
It really is. You could see at certain points Naomi was leading her through that early part of the match. And then I think she kind of settled in and remembered, oh yeah, I'm really good at this shit.
Just imagine if you've been in the business and you haven't been in the ring for 2 years and you're going out however many people were there, 15,000, 8,000 or 20,000, you're amped up. And that drains you, man. Even as a manager, when I went out in Freedom Hall in front of 20,000 people, and I'm used to working in front of 300 to 5,000 at the Louisville Gardens, when you see 20,000 people, it drains you. And I can only imagine what it's like to wrestle and have that anxiety going through you and the rush of being back after 2 years. So I bet she was. You could see after the match. I'm sure Rick noticed it. How blown up she was. She was wiped out.
She was breathing heavy, and I will say I have to commend her entrance because she looked like Trinity from The Matrix. That was great. She had excellent attire tonight.
Her presentation was great. And look, what this accomplished tonight, SP3, you're wondering what this accomplished from a storyline standpoint, absolutely nothing. But from a consumer standpoint, I want to see more of Sonya Deville in a wrestling ring. I want to see her back as a full-time competitor in the ring again, because leading up to what happened 2 years ago at this point, she was on a hot streak. That storyline between her and Mandy Rose with Otis mixed in was one of the best things that was going on WWE TV. And I thought she was on the verge of becoming, of moving up into that next level and becoming a single star in WWE. And then all that BS happened and she got taken off the TV for several weeks. And then she's been an authority figure ever since. I'm ready to see Sonya Deville hop back into this. And I was literally typing out a tweet saying, all right, cool. Naomi won, right move. I want to see more Sonya back in the ring. And then literally as I'm typing that, Sonya says, I'm going to be in the damn Royal Rumble match. So I'm hoping this is going to lead to, as much as I like Sonya as an authority figure, I want to see her back in the ring. And the SmackDown women's division, as we saw in the opening tonight, desperately needs Sonya Deville as a competitor.
I take it back. I did see one episode where Sonya said, "You can't beat me up if I'm wearing my jacket." I did see that.
That was very recently. Yeah. So I'm hoping that sooner or later that's what this is going to lead to. Any final thoughts on SmackDown tonight? As far as like a go home for the Royal Rumble, did they do their jobs tonight? Did they make you want to watch the Royal Rumble even more tomorrow night?
Ooh. Well, I'll go first. I won't say they did that. I might be less interested now than I was before. I'm mainly tuning in to see who the hell shows up. I want to see who the mystery people are.
Not a whole lot of
mystery. It's really the only reason I'm watching. Who are the mystery people?
That opening segment made me only care about Sasha Banks being in the Royal Rumble. Literally, everyone else involved, I don't care about being in the Royal Rumble anymore.
Sasha looked like not a million, she looked like $1 trillion tonight. She looked good.
And she was the least involved in that awful segment. So, yeah, the Women's Royal Rumble maintained where they were. I
saw her cheerleading from outside the ring while everybody else had to work, so I saw that.
They maintained where they were with the Women's Royal Rumble. I didn't even know if they did anything to build up the Men's Royal Rumble besides tag team matches and mention it a few times. And Seth and Roman just did the same segment they did a few weeks ago.
If you analyze it, Seth and Rowan was SmackDown when it comes to that. I mean, that was the show.
And that was the same promo from 2 weeks ago.
Well, and I didn't see 2 weeks ago, so I was entertained.
Here's the other thing about that main event before we move on to Rampage, that main event segment. The one thing that I don't really understand is like Roman Reigns saying, I've tried to forgive you for that. I still hate you for that. The last time we saw the Shield together, Roman and Seth were fine.
Yeah, what year was that?
It was Jon Moxley who was apprehensive about getting back together with the Shield because he was the one that didn't trust Seth. And then the last time we really saw him, it was Mox who turned on Seth and did all that stuff.
How long has it been, Rick, that the Shield
2019 was the last time they were together.
All right.
It's coming on 3 years. About 3 years ago.
Do we get to divide the money tonight? Do we split it?
Yeah, we'll see. Ronald Curtis saying, I don't remember Deville's moveset as part of Absolution, but her two innovative moves helped to hide her rust. She had the jackhammer type move and the reverse DDT from the apron. That inverted suplex Uranagi move that she did was really, really good. She had some innovative offense tonight, and Anthony Bowens had some unique moves tonight that you don't see a whole lot.
Dutch Mantel said if he really wants to get over, he needs to change his name to Anthony Bolin. So we'll work on that.
Oh, okay.
Always time for a name change.
So let's move on to that match there. Again,
Rick did not put that over at all.
Nope. Moving right along here.
Ice cold, son. Mr. Freeze just walked in the room. Go ahead. Let's move it.
So we close out with two members of the Shield.
Too many Bolins in wrestling as it is, Mr. Ucchino says.
We open up Rampage tonight with Jon Moxley against Anthony Bowens. Bowens. I was honestly surprised that Anthony got a lot of offense that he did in this match, SP3. Although, again, as innovative as it was and unique as some of those spots, I love that kind of reverse DDT that he does off of the middle rope there. I thought this was a really, really good match tonight. I was surprised it was as competitive as it was.
Cluxter Rules says that I ate a lot of his family members. Well, I did see your mother quite often. We'll leave it at that.
Anywho,
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. All I will say is that I really enjoyed this opener. This was a very good opener to the show. Back-to-back weeks, Jon Moxley with very strong openers
coming in from the crowd
Rampage
like he used to do with the Shield.
and Anthony Bowens. His strikes are very crisp. He hits those like forearms very crisp. The super kick on point, and I felt like they had very good chemistry with each other. And it took a lot from Moxley to defeat Bowens, which put him over in defeat. And I like the little touch with Bryan Danielson watching from backstage to kind of they are slow burning into this Bryan Danielson Jon Moxley match, which will probably be at the pay-per-view Revolution in March.
This is the first night that I had seen Bowens, and I was impressed with his athleticism. He's a pretty damn good athlete.
It's like the Acclaimed as a group. Like the whole presentation that they have. You got Max Caster coming down. I thought his rap on Jon Moxley was really, really good tonight.
That was a great rap. That was one of his better ones in recent memory. Talking about bringing up the wife again. Talking about you fall asleep reading your book. Some great lines by Max Caster. Like I've said it once, I'll say it again. The Acclaimed is this generation's New Age Outlaws. You got Max Caster playing the role of Road Dogg
without the good music.
He's the one that will do the majority of the talking and get them over with his words. And then Anthony Bowens brings it in the ring like Billy Gunn did. So they make for a really good, strong team.
That's interesting because you still have one half of the New Age Outlaws as an active competitor in AEW. We'll talk about Billy Ass.
Hey, he is the leader of the Ass Boys, man. Over like Rover.
No comment.
Kenny Bolin, do you know who Danhausen is?
I do.
All right.
I do. Yes, I certainly do. As a matter of fact, I saw his interview with Jericho, and I am dying to either interview him or him interview me. It would be a blast. Now, my son thought I'd crap all over Danhausen. I love that SOB with a passion. I've watched. I watched him with who's the girl that was with WWE, married to one of the guys, married to Moxley, right?
Oh, Renee
had a great interview with him. Yeah. But how do you not have a great interview with this guy? I mean, he's so I take it you like him.
I'm a big Danhausen guy. He just
why is he not with one of the company? Why is he not?
He just debuted with AEW on Wednesday.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh well, shit! Yeah. I gotta go back and watch that. I'll watch it just to see him.
Yeah, he's the reason why the Gun Club is called the Ass Boys. Okay. He's the one who started that on social media.
All right.
And it makes sense. I explained it to my old roommate, and I was like, "These are the Ass Boys." He was like, "Why they call them Ass Boys?" I was like, "What do they used to call Billy Gunn? Mr. Ass. Those are his sons." Yeah. He was like, Ass Boys. I get it. It just makes perfect sense. Well, why didn't AEW do that?
Well, I knew that part, but I didn't know that Danhausen had anything to do with it.
Yeah, that was all him. And if you haven't seen it, by the way, he released a music video today.
I haven't seen it.
About the Ass Boys. It is. The guy's a damn genius. I'm really happy.
He is, man. I've seen him at conventions. The video, not that I was there, but I saw the videos. He is. There's something special about that guy. And they say he can actually wrestle pretty good too. I've seen some clips of a few matches, but I'm more interested in the character. That character, to me, there's nothing like it. And the third person shit he does, it's just great.
I was hoping he'd be on the show tonight, but he was there.
I'm disappointed. I got Jade, but if I saw Danhausen come out, I'd have popped like a teenager. I'd love to see.
I know. I was sitting there waiting for it. I was hoping he'd come out like, and lead like an Ass Boys chant or something. I mean,
I heard they were in talks with him, but I've been hearing that for a few weeks, so I didn't know if it was ever going to happen or not.
Yeah. So, he's also been dealing with a knee injury, or a broken leg, basically. So I don't know if he's cleared to wrestle, but with that character,
I'll watch Danhausen with 2 broken legs. He'd be all right.
I'm sure he would. I'm sure he would appreciate those comments. So let's talk about FTR.
Danhausen would like that. Danhausen would like that.
Let's talk about FTR versus Lee Johnson and Brock Anderson. Pretty solid tag team match. I love the closing sequence tonight with Lee Johnson basically getting out-dueled by the double team, which led to the spike pile driver. Again, FTR just playing off as like, look, we're one of the best tag teams in the world, and their experience showed tonight, and that was the story that I got out of this match.
In fairness, I don't know anything about any of the 4 of them, and being as I don't really like to talk bad about anybody, SP3.
Oh, there you go. I felt like Lee Johnson was the best out of the four of these guys. I felt like he was the one that they kind of tried to highlight more with, like, he's got nice athleticism. He moves very well in the ring, but yeah, FTR are just next level when it comes to like double team moving and their precision in the ring. So this made sense that they were going to get the victory. Brock Anderson still needs some work. Yeah, that's all I can say.
Got a nice beard. I could say that about a Brock.
He is a dead ringer for his dad. I'll tell you, that's the best compliment I can give.
They do look a lot alike. They do look a lot alike. I've known Arn for many years, and I was blown away how much they look like. Also, I have not got to see Taz's son wrestle yet, and I hear he is kicking ass in merchandise sales. My son raves about him. My son's a bit of a wrestling expert.
Kenny Bolin, Bolin, you are talking right over here. This guy, whichever way I'm pointing.
That guy, right over there.
This one.
There he is. I see him.
There you go. That one. The number one hooker on the planet in SP3.
Yeah.
This man loves him some Hook.
Oh my. Okay. All right. Hooker stand up. Well, hey, you know what? Let me help you out. Hey, Google, turn my lights red. There you go. Now we got some hookers. Hey, Google, turn my ceiling lights red.
All right.
There we go.
3 lights to red.
Oh, now we got the Fiend up in here.
Yeah, Kane will be here in a minute.
Look like Taz about to come out. Do the countdown.
Boom, 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 boom. So why not? I didn't see him on the show tonight, right? Taz's son was not on the show, right?
No, but the hookers are lighting up the comment section right now.
My son says he is legit badass, and I have not got to see a match yet, so I'm going to have to see what my son's crazy about. But he says this guy is the real deal, and he's kicking ass in merchandise sales.
Beat CM Punk in merchandise on PWT.
Damn, I'd be hanging that over everybody's head.
Mm-hmm.
I got to check him out. I got to see what it's about because I haven't seen him yet.
And it's not like this is a crazy design, ladies and gentlemen. It's just Hook in black letters on a white T-shirt.
Put up Raiju's comment. They're going to be wanting to explain the red lights now.
Very
carefully. That's what you do. You just very.
Do you watch this show, Raju? Do you watch this show? Have I not explained what hookers are?
Now my spell check spells his name Raiju, so I have to, when it says Raiju, I have to go AKA Raiju.
The hookers are the fans of Hook. We represent Hook. We represent Hook wherever we at, and I am the number one hooker out on these YouTube streets, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't care what anybody got to say. The Hooker Nation is in full effect. So I'll translate in Hindu, in whatever type of language you need me to do. Hookers stand up.
Well, I've heard you. In all fairness, for you, we're after midnight here, so I mean we can drop any kind of the
Yeah, and I've heard you're the number one hooker in New York, but I think it's because of your low prices.
I said number one hooker out on these YouTube streets, so that joke fell flat.
No. Rick Ucchino got it. So
I got it. You were now in the red light district over there.
I'm sure he got it real good. And to talk about Dominic Mysterio, that wet paper bag of charisma once Hook. Are you kidding me? Yes, I agree, MCats. He don't want no smoke.
It's 12:04 in Eastern America here, Raiju. Calm down. AM.
So we did find out next week that we are finally going to get Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes Martinez. So we'll get to recap that matchup coming up here next week on Smack Talk. And I know you got to be excited about that. You're going to get to talk about your girl, SP3. Your other girl. Okay, hold on. If you could choose Ronda Rousey or Thunder Rosa, which one?
Yo, y'all are really trying to play with my emotions here.
My son is also a huge Thunder Rosa fan. We've gone from hookers to Thunder Rosa.
You having me talk about Hook, Thunder Rosa, and Ronda Rousey in one stream, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if I can take all of it
down, ladies and gentlemen.
I pissed you off earlier. I pissed you off earlier. I'm trying to win you back now.
Keep that camera on him and put a pillow on his lap, please.
You couldn't piss me off, man. I've been up since 7 a.m. I've done like 6 streams. I deal with two-year-old kids.
I've only done 4 today. I'm a candy ass. I got to get in the major leagues here. 2-6.
Yeah, you doing better than some people in the chat. I had to block somebody because they thought they were gonna say something about me. You don't want no smoke with me.
They thought they were.
I dropped the ban hammer without even telling you.
I didn't ban hammer anybody today. I got executive privilege. I didn't ban hammer anybody, but you let a couple of them have it today, I think.
I'm ready for Thunder Rosa to be AEW Women's World Champion. If I am not only just the number one hooker out on these streets, I am a Thunderbolt. I am a member of the Thunder Rosa Nation, and we are out here to make sure Thunder Rosa wins next week on AEW Rampage. Mercedes Martinez, I love you. Was out there cripping with your bandana top that you had on Rampage, but you don't want none of the Thunderbolts. Thunder Rosa is gonna win.
Does Thunder follow you on Twitter?
Does Thunder Rosa follow me?
Does Thunder Rosa follow you on Twitter?
Of course she does. She also does this on her Twitter. Thank you. Thank you. Like, look at that.
Well, if that's all you got, Thunder Rosa is also a big fan of mine.
Look at this man glowing.
Look at her glowing. I get
countless inbox messages from the Thunder Rosa, and just wanted to let you know.
Congratulations, Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa been on my YouTube channel.
Her from you any night I want.
I'm just gonna leave this up so we don't have to look at Kenny.
You wish.
Well, it does. Well,
hey, how about this, Kenny?
If you could get SP 4.5 out of there, we might be able to.
How about this, Kenny? Whoever can eliminate the other person from the Royal Rumble gets Thunder Rosa. I won. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. I won. I won already. There we go. I won. So
acting like a child. Acting like a child all over Thunder Rosa. Just my God. I don't have that.
We are killing. We are actually killing Rick over here, ladies and gentlemen. Because
no, y'all, you and Alex McCarthy damn near killed me in the Royal Rumble preview show that we did for Believe in Pro Wrestling. My God. And then you almost killed me again.
Aren't you a married? I didn't ask happily, but aren't you a married man for crying out loud?
I'm a happily married man. And my wife is also a big Thunder Rosa fan.
But is your wife a happily married woman? That might be the next question.
Of course she is.
Yes.
A wise man once told me it is all right to look at the menu as long as you eat at home. All right. That's a wise man once told me that. Take that to
never
the bank.
Dated any of my girlfriends, because every time I look at the menu, I get bitch slapped. So I can't even look at the menu.
Well, I guess it all depends on what the chef at home is like too.
Depends if your chef is Filipino or not. That's what that's got to do with.
Jesus. Although, you know what, man? I'll tell you what, SP3. You talk about you're ready for Thunder Rosa to dethrone Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and we all believe that that's eventually going to happen. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not only ready for that, I'm also ready for Serena Deeb to be the AEW Women's Champion as well. I just love the work that she's doing.
Serena is one of my sweet friends from OVW. I once took her to Cornette's house unannounced, and he about lost his mind. But she was wanting to get on television. Her and I had done a personal appearance at a car lot in Lexington, Kentucky, and she says, "Where are you going when you leave here?" I said, "Well, I'm supposed to meet Cornette for dinner." She said, "Would you mind if I come?" I said, "Well, he hates unannounced guests." I said, "Well, you know what? Screw it. Let's go." So I threw her in a car. We drove to Cornette's house. I walk in with Serena Deeb, and I sat down and introduced her. Said, she's on our show, and she's trying to get on television here. And, I want you to talk to her a little bit. I want you to feel her out. So he was hot. He was mad that I've run an unannounced guest into his house. But the next week, Serena Deeb was on television, and she's one of the top performers in the country, in my opinion. She does a hell of a job. And I hope she gets every opportunity that they will throw her way, because she has earned it. I've known Serena a long time. Very proud of her.
I said it once. I'll say it again. Serena Deeb needs to be the number one contender for Britt Baker at Revolution. I think it's too soon to go to Thunder Rosa at Revolution, but I think Serena Deeb, they've been building her up great. So it would be time for Deeb versus Baker at Revolution.
How about a mixed tag match? Adam Cole and Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa and Hook.
Oh, I'm cheering. I'm a Thunderbolt and a hooker. I'm cheering for that team.
I still got to see.
Are you a Thunder Hooker, as DJ Eric says here? Are you a Thunder Hooker?
I'm a number one hooker out on these YouTube streets, and I'm a Thunderbolt out in the sky cheering for Rosa. That's all I could say.
All right, Kenny, let's talk about your girl Jade Cargill.
Oh, baby, let's talk about her.
basically a glorified squash match against Julia Hart tonight. It looked like Julia was struggling a little bit with the eye patch. It's kind of hard to wrestle with one eye.
Yeah.
She got a little offense in, but this was basically a Mortal Kombat flawless victory.
It was.
For what it was all right.
Victory. Even I know that much.
Yeah. What it was, I thought it was all right, but it was a little rough in some spots tonight. But Jade Cargill, man, she just oozes star power, man. She
is an absolute goddess. My God, I haven't got to see a lot of her matches, so I don't have much to judge there. I haven't got to see her work against any of the top talent yet, but the look is certainly there. And I got one question for you, Rick, and you might know better than me. What the hell has Brandon Phillips got that I ain't got?
Money?
Well, AMC is going to pay off.
He's a good-looking dude now. He's a good-looking dude.
Brandon, I hate Brandon Phillips. Now I used to love him. I want to beat him up now.
This was a decent squash match. Julia Hart still needs some work. Either it's the eye patch or she's
I saw the name Julia on her shirt in case we forgot who she is. She got the name right there.
In case you forgot. But I love Jade Cargill, that pump kick, the way she does the jaded, just her whole presentation. She looks like a monster. She looks like a beast. This went about 3 minutes. It was fine.
Who walks to the ring and looks any better, any more impressive than Jade Cargill? I want to know who it is.
No one else. No one else. Ever since they made Bianca Belair do that little stupid skip to the ring. I'm not much on this. I can't compare it to
Bianca does have an awesome look.
Before Bianca became a caricature of what she was before,
right?
Then Bianca Belair is the only person who walks like a superstar to the ring, like Jade Cargill. And
I watch her Twitter account quite a bit. I've had a little bit of interaction with Jade Cargill, and she knows I'm a big Brandon Phillips fan. She acts like a star on Twitter. She don't take no crap off anybody. And no, I'm very impressed with her. I think bigger things are coming for her. Where do you rate her work level, Rick? You probably see way more matches of her than I've seen.
She's still a little green. And you can see that in any of
the little matches I've seen. That would have been my diagnosis, but I haven't seen enough to be a fair judge of her work.
But the thing is, man, she's only going to get better with more reps, and you know that. In fact, I'd like to see her do more than a glorified squash match, because those are only going to help her so much. She needs to have.
You're only as good as the people you work. We tried to preach that at OVW. You're only as good as the people you're working with.
Honestly, for Jade Cargill, it's been something different. She's been in there with the top women's workers, mostly in AEW, like Thunder Rosa, Ruby Soho. And those matches weren't very good. It's the people that she trains with she has good matches with. She had a really strong matchup last week against Anna Jay. Her previous best match before that was with Red Velvet, and those are two girls that she has trained with and spent time in the ring with.
And those are obviously going to be your best matches. If you train with them, you know what to expect. You know how each other works. It's like me and Cornette working with each other for 40 years.
Yeah, we
4 steps ahead of each other when we do our shit. So of course that's going to be the best.
Yeah, and look, I only had a handful of matches. I trained for a year, but obviously, I get in the ring with, a buddy of mine, Adam Rorgis, and we just have really, really good chemistry together.
Gorgeous Adam Rorgis?
Yes. Yeah. And we, we would get in the ring, and look, we could have a simulated match, just do a run through, go through chain and everything like that, and it would look pretty good. It would look
by the way, they're all simulated matches.
I know, but we go through, and I would go with somebody else that I really didn't lock up with a whole lot, and it would look like total ass. It's just it is. So I get that with Jade.
It takes 2 to dance. That's the best way to remember it. It takes 2 to dance, and if you ain't got somebody to dance with you, then it's going to look like shit more often than not.
Yes, chemistry is very, very important. But again, with Jade, she has those reps with all those other people in training, so she's comfortable with them. She just needs more reps with the other people to get more comfortable with. She's gonna have that TBS championship for a long time. One final match to talk about here.
No, right, that is not Joe Rogan. That's nice thought, but that's not him. It's a troller, because I announced on Twitter today that I'm leaving Spotify. I'm siding with Neil Young and not Joe Rogan. I'm gonna side with Neil, and I'm leaving Spotify as of today.
Joe Rogan, Banhammer.
Exactly. There you go. We finally got one today. Thank you.
Oh no, that's 2 for me, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, you taking credit for that one too.
So
well,
someone
Raiju thinks we
about
just
me.
kicked Joe Rogan out of the room, and I'd have done that too. I don't care if it's the real one or not.
I would have dropped Joe Rogan out of the room.
Thank you.
One final match to talk about. AEW tag team titles on the line. Jurassic Express versus Private Party. A lot of shenanigans going on the outside in this one. I will say I loved the strategy by Private Party at the beginning of the match, and we got that falsy like right off of the bat, which you don't see too terribly often. I thought that was really, really good strategy. I'll equate that to a scripted drive in an NFL game. I thought that was a great plan, a great story for them to try and rob one. But ultimately, you knew in the end that Jungle Boy and my boy Luchasaurus were going to win this one. But again, this is one of those matches with AEW where there's a lot going on the outside of the ring, and it kind of takes away from what we see on the inside of the ring. But overall, I thought it was a pretty good main event, SP3.
I like this match. I didn't think there was too much going on. There was a lot of people outside, but they weren't like wrestling and taking the attention away from what was going on in the ring. Private Party showed off their athleticism, and they're a tag team that I wish would get more spots on like Rampage and Dynamite because they're really good in the ring. And Luchasaurus plays his role very well, but it was kind of a different role than what we're usually used to with Jurassic Express tag team matches. It was Luchasaurus kind of getting the heat before the hot tag to Jungle Boy, and I like that. It switches up the formula from what we're used to, and we just saw a match with these guys last week on Rampage, so it made sense to switch it up a little bit here. And Jungle Boy getting the win makes him look strong once again. I really feel like this whole tag team run is to really establish Jungle Boy as a future world champion for AEW. So I felt like this was a fun main event to the show.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one that's getting all the mic time right now, except for, Luchasaurus, who will come in and say something like oranges or something like that. And then
I heard that in the back. Is that part of his gimmick? Because I haven't seen much of him.
Yeah, he's a dinosaur.
I did. Well, he's a dinosaur. Yeah. I mean, you got to remember he's a dinosaur. That's
I'll
not a mask. It's not a mask. He's a dinosaur.
The best thing I think I saw all night was that reversal from Jungle Boy into the Destroyer tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was good shit.
Do you owe SportsCenter any money for saying that? The best thing I saw all night. Do you owe my man a little money?
Does Van Pelt have that?
Van Pelt's got that. Yeah, the best thing.
He have that copyrighted?
He might. We might. Probably. He's got everything else going on.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, poor Van Pelt. Yeah.
Bill Sportskeeda, they'll pay you.
There you go.
No, they won't.
Take it out the super chat.
No, they won't. Yeah, they bring everybody super chat money because that's all he's getting.
Oh, I also want to say I also loved Andrade trying to buy Darby Allin once again and being upset that his handler Sting wasn't there.
Yeah, I did see that. That
was great. That was so great. I love Andrade not getting the concept of friendship. That is just the most foreign thing to him. In this day and age,
you just can't trust anybody. Just bomb off. There's no need being friends with anybody because they're only going to disappoint you later. So
I still thought that Darby was the MVP of that. He's just sitting there trying not to laugh his ass off at what Andrade is saying. He's like, "You think I work for this guy? Like, what the hell are you talking about?" They just pulls the damn bat out. It's like, get the hell out of my locker room.
I know this is way off subject. Are you guys Saturday Night Live fans?
Depends.
Watching Pete Davidson, I was watching the news segment and watching Pete Davidson and Colin Jost talking about the boat they bought, and they're both New York boys up around you there, SP3. Pete Davidson couldn't keep a straight face because you had the guy in the middle that plays the guy that bought a boat. Are y'all familiar with the segment? Well, do me a favor. If you can, watch the news segment. Good God. Watch the news segment of Saturday Night Live last week that involves Pete Davidson, Colin Jost, and the guy that plays. He normally plays Trump's son, Eric, and he plays Guy Who Bought a Boat, and it is funnier than hell, and Pete Davidson can't keep a straight face to save his life. So check it out. I think you'll be entertained by it.
Roger that. We did
scrapping on it already.
So
I don't know the connection. That's what I'm laughing at.
They bought a boat. They bought that New York ferry for like $300,000. They're going to put like a couple of million in it. $100 million is what I heard to turn it into a floating nightclub in the Queens area.
I think how we got here, SP3, was I was talking about how Darby was trying not to laugh.
Yes,
he
exactly.
said Pete Davidson trying not to laugh.
Pete,
So that's
the
connection.
That's the connection.
I literally
could
thought,
not get through the segment. It was funnier than hell.
I literally thought that he was comparing Andrade trying to buy a human being to
buying a
boat. To buying a boat.
Well, sometimes, Rick Ucchino, you got to be a little smarter than the microphone to get some of my humor. So it's all right. We've had a long day today, SP3. We've had a long day.
We did see the Ass Boys standing tall at the end of the night.
Well, we certainly did.
Jurassic Express gets the win over Private Party, and Matt Hardy left to go cry somewhere. But Billy Gunn and the Ass Boys, they hit the ring. They stand tall at the end of the night.
SP3,
SP3,
give me one last bit of advice. How in the hell do you go from dating Yeezy's? What's the guy? Kanye. How do you go from Kanye West to Pete Davidson? How's that? Well, someone commented in here. They said Pete Davidson's dating. He's had Ariana Grande and Kim Kardashian. It's Pete Davidson. Y'all know what he looks like, right?
Yes.
There's something going on down south. Apparently, we don't know about because he got Kanye. He's got Kanye's woman, and he had Ariana Grande in like a couple of weeks. Better than I'm playing, I'll tell you that.
We have gone to the section where we're talking about Pete Davis's manhood, ladies and gentlemen. I think that is all for SmackDown this week.
That's a good place.
We were talking about Ass Boys, so I mean that's kind of a connection.
And Kim Kardashian, there you go. See, Rick gets it. SP3. Do I have to start doing shows with Rick every week now and just ditch your ass?
Go ahead. You can do a show with Rick. I'm sure Rick would love that.
Rick would love to have me on every week. I hear he battles for me every week.
We'll have to get you on the Believe in Pro Wrestling podcast at some point. Which, by the way, guys, make sure to subscribe to that. I would really, really, really appreciate it. Again, BLEAV.
Raiju's with me. Raiju just threw Kate Beckinsale in the mix with Pete Davidson. My God, he's something else. You should be jealous, SP3. Raju's with me. He's the only one in here who can fire me.
Sid, what you got going on tomorrow?
Oh, check out my wrestling YouTube channel, True Hill Heat. We got True Hill Heat 160 tomorrow, 11:05 a.m. Eastern time on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. We'll have special guest Andrew Zarian of the Batman Podcast and Wrestling Observer. We'll be previewing the Royal Rumble, talking about Ronda. So there's a lot to discuss. So check it out, True Hill Heat 160.
Kenny, I know you got a lot going on.
Oh, after 4 podcasts today, I'll be sleeping in tomorrow. I'll be watching the Louisville Cardinals lose another ball game. We got rid of that coach from Cincinnati. He's done. We're paying.
He's from Xavier. It's all right.
It was Xavier. If you're going to get technical about it, but we're paying him a few $1 million to go away. How bad is that? But I predicted we weren't going to make the tournament 3 weeks ago, and then during that 3 weeks, we lost 5 out of 6. And now we're going back to the interim coach we had that won 5 out of 6.
I think I heard Chris Mack is going to be getting $150,000 a month.
Yes, $133,000 a month. I saw the graphic on the news today. Did you see the way the Channel 32 newsman from Louisville? Have you seen him all over Twitter today? Did you see what he did?
No.
He cut the loudest fart in the history of television during the news, and so he lifted his feet up. He just went with it, and it's all over Twitter. He's a Fox 41 news guy. I'm sorry, weather guy, and we call him the guy that knows too much about the weather. We don't even know his name. But he's all over Twitter today because he cut the loudest fart in the history of television.
Apparently
louder than what Rudy Giuliani did.
Apparently he's getting a lot of fiber in his diet.
Well, it's on Twitter.
So where can they follow you, Kenny, to get more?
They can follow me. If you can spell Starmaker Bolin, you can find me. You can donate to my Filipino fundraiser program, StarmakerBolin@gmail.com, Kenny Bolin at MSN.com. You can find me on Twitter at Starmaker Bolin, Facebook /Starmaker Bolin, Instagram Starmaker Bolin. It's getting boring, right? And but if you want to donate to Venmo, which is brand new for me, Kenny-Bolin-1. They gave me that one. They wouldn't let me pick Starmaker Bolin.
Before the Sportskeeda powers that be get mad at me and Rick for not asking, Kenny, what do you think about the exciting news of Kurt Angle being in the Royal Rumble
I didn't know that he was, so that's an interesting question.
There's a possibility he's in St. Louis to
He's
film
in St. Louis.
some WWE Network
He's
stuff.
one of dozens of former wrestlers that are in St. Louis.
I think it would be very interesting that he would be one of the 30 people in it, and if anybody thinks he's winning it, then they're smoking Ronda Rousey crack.
Again,
that rowdy crack, ladies and
Rowdy
gentlemen.
Crack. That's probably
there's only 5 open spots in the men's Royal Rumble right now, and
I think Kurt Angle's one of them.
I think Roman Reigns is one of them, and I think Roman Reigns is going to win that match. Speaking of the Royal Rumble, our boy Kev Kellum was in St. Louis today at the press.
I love him. He's a big fan of mine.
Talking to the folks like AJ Styles and Liv Morgan and Reginald and a few other people. All those interviews are going to be up on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube channel, so make sure to subscribe and check out all of those interviews as well. And while you're on YouTube, once again, subscribe to the Believe in Pro Wrestling podcast channel. We would really, really appreciate that. What is going on, SP3? You're shaking your head.
We got 5 spots in this men's Rumble, and we got some of these people. I won't call y'all idiots. Y'all what my grandmother used to say. No, Kenny. No? My grandmother used to say they touched. They a little touched. They a little
okay.
They a little.
My grandma never said that. But
y'all are asking for Kurt Angle, who retired 3 WrestleManias ago, and the Undertaker, who retired about 5 times already, to be in the Royal Rumble.
Ric Flair, fresh out of a hospital bed somewhere.
Oh my God! Why?
There's 3 of the 5 that keep calling for.
I can confirm that I am not one of the 5. My back is still a little effed up for me to go in there.
Well, I would have been really shocked that I seen you in it, so that would have been nice.
Hey, I bet you I could do as well as Johnny Knoxville is going to do tomorrow night.
I am sticking with my prediction. Knoxville will eliminate Sami Zayn, and then hopefully somebody beats Knoxville with a ball bat.
I've seen your match, Rick. It was impressive, but it's nothing as impressive as taking a bowling ball.
Send me the match, Rick. Send me the match, Rick. I've never seen it. If you send me the match, I'll check it out.
All right, yeah, I'll get you that link as long as it's still up there. I gotta find it, but it's on YouTube somewhere. I'll find it and I'll make sure to send that to you.
I'm not talking about you, MCAT. I'm talking about there was people in the live chat earlier today that was like, the Undertaker needs to come back. He isn't in the Hall of Fame. He's not retired.
People on my podcast tonight, and I've done several, were putting you over for putting me in second place on the Bubba Ray promo, because I said, well, goddamn, he believed everything he was saying. That's how you do a promo. He was hot. His eyes were about to fall out of his head. Man was upset. Frozen got drug into it. People want to see the movie Frozen now because how pissed you were about Undertaker coming back. You got to see it, Rick. I made Dutch Mantel watch it today, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I still can't believe people are losing their damn minds over the Undertaker.
Well, Michelle's there.
Because he's going to be backstage. He's going to be backstage and in attendance at a show that his wife is already confirmed to be performing at.
Well,
what a freaking shock, ladies and gentlemen.
He's probably broke and needs the money. I mean, hell,
that's like when Becky Lynch was backstage at the Royal Rumble. I'm like, no shit, guys. This was last year. She had a baby. Everybody's like, she's going to come back. She's going to come back. She's at the Royal Rumble. Because Seth was there, you moron.
I think me and Rick are in on this. Danhausen might be one of the 5. He could be. Let's get Danhausen in there.
Maybe.
I'll pop.
Roman Reigns is going to be one of the 5, and Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble after he loses to Seth Rollins. You can book it.
That sounds pretty possible. I'm not going.
You don't need it. You don't need to go that route.
No,
but that's exactly
probably how it's going to go.
That's exactly how
we got to elevate somebody else. It's basically been the Roman show for quite some time. We got and Brock when he wants to work.
Hey, to Brock's credit, ever since he turned babyface, he has been there pretty much every week, and he has been.
He way more than I thought he'd be.
Same. Man, I would love it if they shocked me and just went with somebody completely out of the blue that they want to elevate. But SP3, we have talked about this before. That is not how they operate. That is just not what they do.
Not as a rule. Not as a rule.
They go to what they know. They know what very well. Like I said, Roman Reigns is not going to put over someone new with this long title reign. They'll probably go back to someone they know, like Seth Rollins. And in the Royal Rumble match, Big E is a sentimental pick, but it's not looking likely.
His move to SmackDown tonight killed that for me. I don't think that is going to happen any way, shape, or form. I would like to believe AJ Styles, Steven. I think he's a guy you could easily heat up, but this is the guy they just squashed to Omos.
To Omos, what?
You could eat, but that man built that you could easily heat back up.
That man went 50-50 with Grayson Waller. I am sorry, he should not win the Royal Rumble.
I'm with you.
That's a fair point as well.
I'm with you.
But again, when you're trying to think of people, if it's not going to be Roman Reigns, and we know it's not going to be Big E now, at least that wouldn't make any sense with him moving over to SmackDown. I don't know who the hell's.
I think they did that the only option. Through with SP3's pick earlier today. I think that's the only reason they did it.
You just gave Kevin Owens $3 million a year. Why not give him a Royal Rumble win?
Kevin versus Seth Rollins. That might be the way they go. We do appreciate everybody who hopped on in the chat. When Kenny, thank you so much for filling in for Dutch.
Happy to do so. When I heard what he was dealing with, I was more than happy to chime in. 4 shows, 8 shows, don't matter. I'm always there to fill in if you guys need me.
You've talked for like 48 hours straight before, though, haven't you?
No, it was 13 hours straight.
Well, at that point, it feels like
and didn't go to the bathroom for 19 hours. World record.
Wow.
Guinness has contacted me.
Man, you and Natty have something in common now. You're both in the Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah, we're both in there. That is a thing. That is a thing. That just the poor little young lady didn't think it was a thing, and she found out. And then she got in the World Book of Records, winning that match in record time. Funny how that worked out.
Life's funny. We appreciate you guys. Dang it. Sorry.
No, you don't.
We appreciate everybody. I'm going to end this show before I die. Hopefully I won't have this cough next week. And yeah, we'll be back here on the Sportskeeda Wrestling YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. We appreciate everybody. Have a hell of a weekend and go Bengals.